We got this month's stat newsletter and update, and again, just historic on so many levels. It's insane. So, and then we got the Arizona Commerce Authority update. So many great things to talk about. So let's start with rent. Okay. As you can see right there, your median lease is $2,100 right now. Okay. Now, when we have that reaction, it's because, and honestly, this is the epiphany I had this weekend. I think it's because of us being in the market for so long. We've been agents for well over a decade each, numerous, and we're used to a different market. Okay. And Ruth, I gave it away, Saturday night, what I found out, but now I've had, a little bit of time to ponder it. $2,100 median lease. Okay. Yeah. Now my house. Okay. And I meant to pull it up. Hold on a second. Here we go. Actually, here, while we're doing this, we could pop right into here really fast. Okay. So total active, 7976 between your actives and coming soons. And that's it. So we are almost at 8,000 homes, which is steadily on the right track. Now check this out. This is my neighborhood. Okay. And you guys hear me complaining about my rent for the last year of $1,800 a month. Okay, there's my house right here. Okay, listed at $475,000. Not my actual house, but this is my floor plan. Okay, like my house. $475,000. I ran the numbers the other day because $475,000 is just a hair over. I mean, I'd like to admit, I like to think that I live in a good area. You know what I mean? So while it's slightly more price per square foot than so many others, like I think my neighborhood ranges somewhere between $200 and $300 price per square foot. Okay. So opening up the trusty security title app to get the numbers done, right? It would require a conventional loan. So let's even say we get it for $465. Okay, a little bit off. And what do we want to put down? 5, 10, 20%? What do we want?
10%.
10%? Okay. So 10% is going to be $46,500 plus tax, right? And we'll take out a normal 30-year mortgage. Let's call my HOA $55 a month. And let's say we're going to close exactly 1 month from today on December 22nd. Sound good? And my house is Phoenix, so standard taxes. Okay. The house payment on my house, if I were to purchase it right now with the terms we just said. Everybody see that?
So that's your mortgage?
That's what the mortgage payment, including taxes, insurance, HOA, everything.
Okay.
Okay. So that being said, is my $1,800 or even $2,100 a month even pay for the house if I were to buy it right now? No, so it's officially the other way around. Okay. A house at $425,000, unless you're putting significant money down, it's actually more almost affordable to rent in certain circumstances. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Isn't that bad? Because don't you want people to buy instead of rent? Like in general, a person should want to buy instead of rent.
Well, there's a lot more to it than just the monthly payment. So don't let it think that that's the only factor involved. Because even if you do, let's say, pay $200, $300 more a month, you're actually getting other tax benefits, appreciation, equity, things like that too. So there's a lot more factors to real estate, which is why it's so good, right? But dollar for dollar, yeah, you would hope that owning your home would be less expensive than renting. What do you think, Ruth?
I'm sorry. I had Charles Rosner on the other line. I'm so sorry. I missed what you were saying. So you were talking about your house and what it was selling for in there?
Well, yeah, I said we let's say we theoretically bought it for $465,000, okay, $10,000 off asking price, and we close next month, and we put 10% down, okay?
Yeah.
That's the monthly payment right there.
Mm.
Oops, sorry.
Let me get to the screen. Hold on. Well, I think this is definitely a market where if people can qualify, they should be buying instead of renting.
But let's say, like we kind of just pointed out, I've been complaining about my rent being $1,800 a month. Right now, if I were to buy my house, it would be $2,543 a month if I were to get it on a conventional loan with 10% down. Okay. So I've been complaining, but right now your average lease right there, we see median $2,100, average even higher, $2,300, but that's still less than a $465,000 home significantly. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on now in certain circumstances? Because remember, for the last 4 years, we've been banking that rents are higher than buying, so it makes more sense to buy. But right now, with your average home being into the 400s and your average rents now being even low 2000s.
Not necessarily. Yeah, that's true. Although, I think with that, you have to weigh out the advantages of being a homeowner and the little bit of tax advantage there is to it. I don't think it's as much as it used to be, but the things that you can write off. But you're right. It's going to be a market right now where people are going to wait because they're going to say, well, it's cheaper for me to rent right now and prices are surely going to come down. I think I'll just wait for a little while.
Is that in their best interest?
Me as a realtor, I would say never in their best interest to rent for a while if they can purchase.
Okay. So how would you combat that objection?
Well, I would say, first of all, we don't have any indication that market is going to come down. And I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that for a couple of years, to be real honest with you.
Yeah.
And so the benefits of owning your own home, I think, always benefit outweigh the benefits of renting. And the thing about renting houses, and we've seen this with our tenants, that owner can give you a 30-day notice at the end of your lease and you're moving every year. Mm-hmm. So I would hate that. I mean, obviously I've lived in my house since 1979. I'd hate that, having to move every year. So it's not always, and I always say this, and I say it to my kids too, it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's about, this would be my argument to somebody versus, renting or buying. Sometimes it's not always about the money. It's, about home ownership and it just being your own property and not having to move if somebody gives you a 30-day notice, and being able to put pictures up on your walls and being able to paint your walls whatever color you want them. That's all the...
And that's taking 30 years, not having a home payment, hopefully, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
Love
that
it.
would be my argument as a realtor, to people that are looking to buy. And there's still plenty of people looking to buy, I think. I think they're, they're saying this is the time we need to buy. But I don't know.
Marilyn, that shows you how much of a bargain your quote unquote, not quote unquote, but your listing is. What is it? $1,200-$1,300?
No.
She's muted.
Yeah. I think she listed it at it's $1,795, didn't she?
So it's still $400 or $500. Okay. Yeah. So it's still $400 or $500 less. There you go. You know what I mean? It's actually in a community that offers stuff too. So that's
it's a great little community, and it's a great location. Hers is a great location in that community.
Yeah. So there you go. Able to sell it, but that's the rental market right now. And I was blown away when I saw this house listed at $475,000. That is just astronomical in my opinion it's a great neighborhood, don't get me wrong, but the house up the street is 650. That's 3,000 plus square feet with a pool on a corner with a three-car garage. I mean, literally has everything you would want. And that is barely, what is that? A little over $200 a square foot at that price, 225, 230, something like that. And so that's way more of a value and a bargain, even though it's, $200,000 more. That is way more reasonable, so realistically, I think my house is probably, let's call it 430, 425, maybe, you know what I mean? I think a little more fair, truly, but we'll see if it sells. I'm keeping my eye on it. So that leads us to the segue, monthly sales. Okay. Now, right now, September is typically the transition month. You know what I mean? That's kind of like our August was especially warm. I mean, we were especially warm this year too. It's kind of weird, but August is kind of the last of summer. So September is the transition, right? October should be we're now getting into the fall season officially. Okay. So that being said, why? We're down 6.3% month over month. So that means September was more than October. And then October versus October, we were down 13%. Why do we think that is?
Well, I always attribute some of that to our kids still being in traditional schools, and school starts about the 1st of September or so. So people are really hustling in August and September to get into a home, get it closed. That's part of it, I think.
Yeah, but historically speaking, that's not the case. And we're comparing September versus September. Schools didn't change time periods. You know what I mean? Like month over month, we're typically the same, if not a hair more. Okay. And then year over year, why would we be 13.5% down same month, year over year?
Well, do you think people were panic buying just a little bit, thinking, I've got to get a house. So you've got all these people slushing into the market?
Are you thinking that was last year, and then this year they're like, what do we do?
I think so. So I just pulled up the comps in my neighborhood, and the my model. Let's see if it has a pool. Same model as we're in, with no pool, and we have a big honking pool.
You got a diving pool. That's the diamond in the rough. We
do, yeah. It just listed for $377,500.
So put yours at $405 minimum.
Probably, yeah. I would think so, yeah. And it's the only thing active in this whole neighborhood. So that's 43rd to 51st, Cactus de Choya.
Jiminy Christmas! Wow. So that's a half mile and a mile.
Yeah,
wow.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 under contract, and there's 1 active.
See? Okay, so do you think it's a supply thing?
I do think it's a supply thing, yeah. So, and you can see the jump. It's kind of funny. You can see the jump from 375, now we're at 377.5. And about 3 months ago, our neighbor across the street sold the same house as we're in, only it doesn't have a garage. It's like a storage room, for $340. And now that same model was listed for $377.5 with no pool. And theirs has a pool.
That's 10, 12% appreciation per year.
That's phenomenal. Yeah.
So here we go.
Yep.
This might explain a little bit. Look at that. Year over year comparison, our new inventory was down over 10%.
Yeah.
Now this is my question, okay? Because this is where it kind of was, well, let's go ahead and look at this. Okay.
I think Marilyn came on, but she's muted.
Yeah, I think are you still muted?
She's still muted, I think.
No. Can you
there she is.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hi, Marilyn.
There.
Why do we think new inventory is so far down? Because, and that's my point, is typically October, we come back.
Yeah.
That's our October through Thanksgiving is our little fall. You know what I mean? Because the very next season is winter after New Year's. You know what I mean? Like, so this is our little boom, but it's not booming.
No. There's not enough houses available for it to be booming. But I think that, typically, like you were saying, October usually picks up like that. People are going, okay, well, let's try to buy something, be in a house by Christmas, So,
because this I was expecting to still be down because year over year, we're still at our market is still hopping, but month over month, we should have had more listings. We should have had more inventory month over month. And same thing, we should have hopefully had some sales month over month.
Right.
That's just crazy. And so when we look at the new inventory, it's down month over month, but our actual MLS listings appear to be going up closer and closer to 8,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our truly active inventory. So this totally throws a kink in what everybody's saying. Totally throws a kink. Everybody's like, the market's not going to last, blah, blah, blah. Well, we just saw a decrease when we should have seen an increase. Okay. And if our inventory is down, there's no way prices are going to go down too.
That's correct. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't see this. I don't see this market settling or going down for at least a year and maybe two. I think it's going to take us that long to get inventory back up again.
No matter what, it was going to take us 2 years, no matter what. But we were starting the first 2-3 months of it incrementally happening. Well, we just took a step back again. There you go. And now it's going to take us even longer. We just took another step back. So absolutely. I mean, I think instead of saying, 3 months ago, we're on a 24-month plan. And so 3 months later, we're at about 21 more months before we're back to normal. No, now we're back to 24 months and let's start counting again. It's insane. So here you go. Okay. Total listings, blah, 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 blah. So 7,500 actual, right? So that shows that our actual inventory did go up from 7,500. And then what did we say it was just now? 78, 79?
Yeah.
Let's get rid of the coming soons. 74. Okay, so no, it went down by 100. There you go. It did go down by 100. Sorry, I thought it was going to be really close, but nope. So yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. We still are in a crazy market that's still going down. Jiminy Christmas. Wow. I mean, going up, but inventory going down. All right, so month supply 1.38. Let's see this here. If we had 8,385 sales last month, and we are at 7,405 total listings right now. 7,405. And then what was it? 8385?
Was that active listings again? 7,405? That's
7,405. Truly active. Yes.
So we're down again.
We did. Yeah, we dropped by 150 almost.
Yeah.
So that means right now, total inventory, okay, 0.883 months supply. So we're closer to 1 month, but we're still well below 1 month supply. And just a reminder, 3 months is a minimum standard market. 3 to 4 months is good. So let's just say 8,000 sales a month. That would be 8, 16, 24,000 homes is what we should have on the market, up to 32,000 homes. That would be a steady, flat market for the Phoenix area. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's what we need. Well, once we start seeing those numbers, then we'll start leveling off.
Yeah,
pricing.
leveling off is what, 3 to 4% appreciation per year on average,
Yeah.
consistently.
Yeah, or even in Phoenix, as high as sometimes you see 7%. Yeah, in a level market. So
yeah, yep. 0.5%, that's good per month. Not 2 or 3% per se is like, that's a little extreme. All right, so new list price. Look at that, 500,000 and 429. So there you go. That confirms it. Our average price is $430,000. And that's not just listing. Your average actual sales price is $418,000 truly. Median.
So that's bumped up from 410 in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, our average home, no doubt about it, is $400,000. There's no getting around it.
No.
Okay. So that being said, for mine to still be 425, 430, it's still a hair over average. But oh my gosh, that's insane, man. So I'm getting corrected this weekend every which way, because this is the catch. When you've been an agent for more than a decade, you kind of get set in your ways, and your thought processes may or may not be keeping up to date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this was a slap in the face. Seriously, like, wow, hello market. All right. So sales forecast, there you go, going up. That's over 2% per month. That is 2% per month. Jeez, that's about 2.2% per month. Wow. Okay, so sales forecast, 420,000. Distressed properties, they showed an increase. I think this is the first increase we've had in how many years?
Yeah, and I always wonder when I see that, because it's obviously people that don't have any idea what the market is about, and that they could throw their house on the market today and have it sold tomorrow. Why are we seeing distressed properties?
Well, keep in mind, okay, in general, there's a lot of reasons why we might see a distressed property, but we'll get down to the sales part, right? Because this is in all of Maricopa County, okay? There are over 6 million people in the area. So out of 6 million people, to have 830 of them going through some weird thing, it could be a probate. They could legitimately have lost their jobs and going through it. They could be getting into the process of listing their home. It could be some HOA dispute and they're putting it up. You know what I mean? There could be 100 reasons why this might be in the process, but this doesn't mean that they got foreclosed on. This means they're in that window where if we go into the county, they have something planned or scheduled, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Make sense?
Yeah.
So out of 6 million people, we had nine sales total.
Yeah, I mean, the percentage is almost nothing. When, like you say, there's 6 million people in Maricopa County.
Remember, remember when people would go to like the courthouse and, bid on properties? Can you imagine the competition for those 9 sales?
Yeah.
That might be an actual pretty good way. There's man alive. Wow. Yeah. So I really wouldn't worry about that. We had 2 short sales, 9 lender owned sales. So total distress sales, there you go, 11 total.
2 short sales. That's interesting.
Yeah. Haven't seen that in a while too.
No, well, I can remember I used to show, foreclosed homes all the time.
Yeah.
And now, I haven't shown one for a long time. Yeah.
I was a certified short sale negotiator and my dad was a CDPE. That was like our bread and butter. We're listing those guys. Those were the easiest listing appointments ever to go to.
Wow.
I loved it because we were so good at it. And, you're just minimizing loss and it makes it really easy. You know what I mean? To make that sale. So there you go. Average days on market. While we're down, it went up.
I saw that. I actually, I felt that when I was showing my little lady townhouses, the average days on market was up a little bit. That's interesting.
It's still really low, but it is interesting that it went up. Yeah. So before we get into Tom's opinions, because he's a genius, whatever you want to call it. What do you think? This was unique. This had ups, downs, twists, turns. You know what I mean? This was a really unique market update. So as a whole, what do you think?
Wow, I'm not sure why those days on market went up. I don't know. Well, I can tell you it's not like that in the rental market, because I've got a couple of girls I'm looking for a rental property for, and they're gone as fast as you can show them. But the sale market, why 30 days? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because let's play out a situation. Okay. For example, your home. Okay. You had, how many total offers?
4.
4 total
and
offers.
that was so I got it on the market at 9 o'clock in the morning. I got my first call at 9:01 because people had that neighborhood dinged, to come up on their computer as soon as something in that horse property came up. And hers is 5/8 of an acre of a lot. So there's only a few lots in there that are that big. Most of them are a little smaller than that. So she had 8 showings in 4 hours. And then in the next 2 hours, I had 4 contracts.
Okay. So my question is, if monthly sales are down year over year that much and month over month that much, since we're down that far in supply year over year, 8,000 total homes, would it not make sense that there's more people obviously bidding on homes? Mm-hmm. And let's say, since only you had 4 offers in 24 hours essentially. So let's say 1 out of 4 people got that home.
That's
it wasn't for lack of trying, but only 1 person out of those 4 got a home. So 3 other people are still looking.
They were all investor offers except for 1.
Yep.
3 investor offers, and then lots of other phone calls saying, keep my name and number. If it doesn't go through, let me know.
Yeah. So since inventory is down, it might make sense that purely because inventory is down, there's not enough inventory. So sales are going to be down purely based on inventory, because you had 4 people apply on your home. Okay. Out of 3 or 4 months, out of nowhere, I had so much activity on my listing last week. Mm-hmm. Sight unseen. Okay.
Yeah.
My listing, literally my seller is trying not to sell. She is sabotaging the sale, and it's still happening.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you had somebody literally prevent showings, cancel appointments, literally block off rooms, and she still sold?
Unreal. Yeah.
So I honestly think that this is kind of a historic market where it is almost so redonkulous that crazy things like this can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's just not anything typical about this market, that's for sure. And you can see that with the numbers. Yep. It's just not typical. It's different.
It's completely different.
Yeah. So as realtors, we just need to, especially as older realtors, you need to learn how to adjust with that kind of market. That's all that there is to it. You got to figure it out.
Well, you won't hear me complain about my rent anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here we go. It's a long story why a real estate broker that owns a property management company is renting. That's another story altogether. Okay. So here we go. Median sales price rose 2% month over month. That's exactly what we were talking about. Median sales price 418, predict that, and will rise to 425 by the year end.
Yeah. I think that's accurate.
All right, so you can see here's the statistical drop between blah, blah, blah. Okay, so new construction volume was down 23% last October from the median sales price, up 20% for resale and 18.9% in newly built sales. Okay, so what are your thoughts on new builds versus resale right now? I'm trying to find where they talk about the actual. I thought this was the one where he talked about that. Anyway, because right now they're very comparable, and a lot of people would love a new build, but they can't wait a year. And other people, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Like, it's just, again, historic times. Last time my client looked at a new build, it was about 3 months ago. And it was a very short thing because they were 9 months out minimally. Yeah. And that wasn't even guaranteed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. You know, I have never really sold a lot of new homes. I've always thought that a resale home is a better value. But, you know, some people like that. You know, it's like buying a new car. You know, they like to smell that newness. But I think right now, but there's still a lot of people there's a lot of building still going on in this valley. So there's people buying new homes. So if they're renting, you know, it's not so difficult. If they're selling their home, then they have to sell and maybe rent for a year until their property is going to be ready or whatever. Yeah. But the last, I had that couple I was looking for a Gen X type home for them. And we couldn't get, we made bids on 3 or 4 properties, couldn't get anything accepted, even bidding over and waiving all the thing. And the reason for that was because they were financing, there's just too much cash here in the valley right now. Yeah. So we talked to Pulte and it was the same thing. They were going into a lottery. And I think I told you about the commission. If they got pulled in the draw the first week, you got your full percent. They got pulled in the draw the second week, you got 1.5%. If they got drawn in the lottery in the 3rd%, well, thank you very much for bringing us your buyer and no commission. Have a good day. So you have a good day. Exactly. And not only that, the price on that Gen X home was $550 base, and then they had to accept the increases in lumber and all that kind of stuff. So, and it was going to be almost a year before that home was built. So by the end of a year, that 550 house is now 650. Well, they can qualify for 550, but they can't qualify for 650. So that knocked them out of that market. And then, mom ended up going into a care facility, finding a guy and getting married. So it worked out the way it was supposed to work out, but yeah.
Man, that's a heck of a lot more extreme than I saw over here. Man, wow. Where was that? Oh, wonderful phone ringer got pulled away. Ruth, if you can, let us know what part of the valley that was, because yeah. Okay, so last part of the market update here, Arizona Commerce Authority done an amazing job. If anybody gets a chance, again, check out their website. They tackle so many angles, but here you got Gulfstream. Everybody knows the Gulfstream aerospace, like a G6, like that's the Gulfstream plane. All right, and private manufacturers build new aircraft service center at the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. Hundreds of jobs, and again, construction, insane. So that's going to be another 2 to 3 years of stuff right there. Boom. So amazing. Recent projections by the Office of Economic Opportunity show Arizona's estimated to add how many jobs? Over 700,000 jobs in the next decade. That's over 70,000 jobs per year. Okay. Now, remember back in the day when so many communities, think about it, like Surprise back in the day barely had 75,000 people. Now it's up to, I think, 300,000 or 400,000 people. 70,000 people is what, 20 times the size of Black Canyon City, for example? Okay. So, wow, that's a lot. Take everybody that flocked from Arizona or from California last year. They said it was what, like 50 some odd thousand people? there you go. We could provide a job for all of them and still not have enough. Okay, that's a lot. All right. Mesa-based Atlas Motor Vehicles, manufacturer of electric work trucks, fast batteries, has partnered with blah, blah, blah to integrate its automotive chassis. Basically, the electric vehicle platform, the microprocessor, the semiconductor, the solar panels. Arizona is going to be the cutting edge place for all of those industries for the years to come. And so any of these things that we see are just compounding where Arizona is going and why. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Ruth, any thoughts?
Hey, Chris, you on? Hello?
Not yet, I don't think. Is he?
Not yet. Okay. Well, I think
Sorry,
that's...
I was muted.
Oh, cool.
He is here. I have a couple messages for you, Chris. I'll send them over to you when we're done.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So it's funny notice how now that the Taiwan semiconductor company is coming to town, it's going to bring all the ancillary companies as well. So Move Technologies, a startup that runs an online marketplace for what? Used semiconductor manufacturing equipment, recently raised $41 million to build its place here instead of San Francisco. Haha. So.
Well, it makes sense.
What's that?
It makes sense to be here instead of San Francisco.
On 1,000 different levels. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it does. It just does.
And then this kind of backs what I just said earlier about the semiconductors and solar. Oops, I didn't mean to actually click that. Reported that we're going to be among the top people in clean technology and things like that. I mean, Phoenix ranked 22, Tucson ranked 39, and my guess is we're going to keep coming up. It's going to be hard to rival some of the places like Colorado, obviously, but as long as we're on that top list, we're beating California, Chicago, New York, all your big hubs, you know what I mean? So Arizona is just rocking. What do you guys think?
Well, having just talked about housing, our housing is still more affordable than Colorado, San Francisco, or New York.
Mm-hmm.
So why not come to Arizona? We have fabulous weather. We have, housing out the wazoo. And why not come here? I mean, this is the place to come. I mean, that's how I felt in 1974 when I packed my bag and left West Virginia and said, that's it. I love Arizona. And I have always loved living here. But I'm just saying that, we have a lot to offer, and I know that they do too, but I think we have more to offer.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
this is why just any client that's thinking about like, oh, do we want to move there or do we want to move to Florida? Do we want to move to Phoenix or do we want to move to Colorado? Do we want to move to Phoenix or do we want to move to Vegas? It's always that group, right?
Yeah.
Boom, 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 right? Thriving industries, aerospace, technology, advanced manufacturing. Where are we going? Automated vehicles, renewable, blah, 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 everything under the sun. I mean, half the people don't even know like what nano satellites are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's incredible. So, and any of these, if you actually click on any of them, it gives you details. Okay. Like for example, let's take what was it? I think it was advanced manufacturing is where they talk about of course, leave it to me to pick the one that doesn't work. Anyway, check this stuff out because it is truly amazing. And this website gives you all the details. But ultimately, it's incredible what is going on. If you can, seriously, dive into some of this stuff because let's see, you want to go into startup resources. Okay, there you go. Want to know some places here in the valley or here in the area? There you go. Startup resources. Let's see here. You want to know where the libraries are? There you go. Do we have any libraries, guys? How far away are you from airports? There you go. Mining. Believe it or not. Isn't this cool? Has anybody gone here? Like, look at this. There's the schools. Anyway, check it out. If you add up startup resources, economic, different things, I mean, you could pull so many cool stuff. You have anybody? Oh, there you go. Anybody looking for opportunity zones? There they are. What's really neat is if you come into here, look at that. That's right off I-17. North of I-10 at that, opportunity zones. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. And there's all kinds of stuff going up too between on the I-17 between Phoenix and Black Canyon City. Looked like there were some new businesses going up.
Yeah, that whole area, like that Deer Valley, I call it the Deer Valley corridor. I don't know actually what it's called, but right here, huge. And then right back, because this is where the whole Taiwan thing is right there. It's amazing how Ben Avery is just hung in there forever.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's probably busier than ever now.
Yeah. So that was the meeting for today, guys. As far as the market updates, the brokerage has great things. I mean, Ruth, what was